Good morning, Bulls. It's May 1st. I'm Sophie Ward.
And I'm Kaylin DeVito. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Bullseye magazine.
As seniors walk the stage soon, we find out more about the history of graduation attire in this week's Deep Dive.
Have you ever asked a question, gotten an answer, but still wanted to know more?
Us too.
Welcome to Deep Dive, where we find a question
And the answer?
and go on a deep dive to learn more. This week's question is, what is another word for a mortarboard?
A graduation cap. Let's dive in one last time.
Firstly, let's start with some origins. Graduation cap and gowns originated in the 12th to 13th century medieval Europe. Some of the first universities, like Oxford, required scholars to wear long gowns for warmth and professional identification.
They were called cappa clausa, which means close cape in Latin. The robes helped separate students from townspeople, which coined the tradition term towns and gowns. The cap, or mortarboard, evolved from a close-fitting cap called a pileus quadratus, which means square cap in Latin.
They were originally rounded skull caps worn by medieval scholars that eventually evolved into the squares that graduates wear today. The square is supposed to represent a book, but is also easier for construction. Now let's talk about tassels.
Sure thing. Tassels didn't really become a standardized thing until around 1895-ish. The tassel symbolizes students going from candidate to graduate, all while representing all the achievements, memories made along the way, and the next steps in life to come. The tassel starts on the right side and then is moved over to the left side to represent going from candidate to graduate.
Lastly, toss your cap. This tradition began in 1912 thanks to the graduating class of the United States Naval Academy. This toss celebrates the completion of your studies, but also the beginning of a whole new chapter.
Well, that's a wrap on our very last edition of Deep Dive.
Thank you to Miss Lish for always supporting our segment and everything you've taught us along the way.
Yes, thank you so much. We will miss you dearly. And for the last time, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Kylie.
See you never! Yeah!
You'll be getting the exam exemption form soon to sign. Remember, you must have an A or B third and fourth quarter to be exempt. And with finals right around the corner, we see how students are preparing in our hallways.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Layla Payne, and welcome to the last edition of Hallway Hot Takes. I'm here with
Darian Audi.
And how are you going to prepare for your final exams?
Studying the weeks beforehand so I don't go in there blindly and just put an answer on the sheet.
Perfect, thank you. I'm here with
Fred.
Ada.
And how are you guys preparing for your final exams?
I'm just studying, basically.
Okay.
I don't prepare for my final exam. It's all in the mind.
Okay, well, you guys need to get on that.
A special question here for the Big LP, Layla Payne. How do you feel about this being your last ever Hallway Hot Takes?
It's very bittersweet because it is very sad, but in the end, ever since 9th grade, I gained such a family and community within the TV production program that's allowed me to discover new interests, and I don't know, it's been such a great time in my life, and I can't wait to see what I can do with it in the future.
All right.
Your lineup for lunch today includes chicken Caesar salads, croissants, Cuban sandwiches, and your choice of fruit and vegetables.
We're in the midst of a drought, but rain seems to be heading our way this weekend. Jasmine has your forecast.
Hey Bulls, Jasmine here with your weather for today. Today's weather is a high of 88 with a low of 69. Let's take a look at what our weekend into next week is looking like. Saturday is a high of 88, low of 64. Sunday is a high of 81 with a low of 61 with a 60% chance of rain. Monday is a high of 85, low of 64. And Tuesday is a high of 87, low of 67. Now let's take a look at our beach report. Our winds are west to southwest at 5 to 10 knots. And our seas are at 2 to 4 feet. Our waves are moderate chop with high tide being at 12:01 p.m. and low at 7:51 p.m. Our Gulf and Bay temps are Gulf being 80 degrees and Bay being 75.2 degrees. And our UV index is 9 to 10. So make sure you keep that sunscreen on. Now let's take a little gander at our drought conditions. We are currently the only county in Florida on the west coast without a burn ban. We measure whether to give an area a burn ban based on the Ketch-Braham Drought Index, aka KBDI. This estimates the dryness of soil and surface organic matter on a scale from 0 to 800. Manatee County is currently standing between 400 and 449. The reason for this drought include a very dry winter, lack of tropical storms this past season, and a La Nina conditions that brought in dry, warm air. That is all for today, and I will see you guys next time. Go Bulls!
As our Bulls continue in postseason, we turn to sports around the world. We start things off with Slam Camp.
What is up, Bulls? Welcome back to the Sports Corner. I'm Jesus Guest, and I bring on to you the Slam Cam, where we give you the latest hits and highlights and maybe even satisfying dunks of the NBA. Let's go check them out. Let's see how the playoffs are looking like so far with the Atlanta Hawks against the New York Knicks this Tuesday, with the Knicks dominating 97-126. On the side of the Knicks, Jalen Brunson gets to work, putting up 39 points. OG Anunoby adding 17 with 10 rebounds, and Karl Anthony Towns putting 16 with 14 rebounds and 6 assists. On the side of the Hawks, Jalen Johnson puts 16 points with 10 rebounds and 6 assists. Dyson Daniels scoring 17, and CJ McCollum only scoring 6. Despite him being the catalyst that won the Hawks 2 games against the Knicks last Monday and Thursday, both by a close 1-point difference, the Knicks looked in and took those 2 victories back and showed them that they aren't messing around anymore. The two should just be about done with this Thursday's match, and we are now duking it out this Saturday, so watch out for them. Coming up this Friday, we got 3 playoff matches featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Toronto Raptors, the Detroit Pistons against the Orlando Magic, and the Los Angeles Lakers against the Houston Rockets. Of course, stay tuned for any other matchups in the future as playoffs continue. That is all for Slam Cam. I will see you guys next week with your hits and highlights. Go Bulls!
Hey guys, my name's Oliver. Welcome to Bears Top 3. I'm here with
Will Crivey.
Let's get into the first clip.
Starting it off, we got some soccer action, and we got Pittsburgh versus Detroit in the USL Championship.
Wow.
Goalkeeper makes a blunder, passes it to the other team. That's just a wide open goal.
You got to be very careful when you come out of goal like that.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of space, man.
Doesn't get any easier than that. Oliver, talk to us about this hockey play. We got NHL playoffs.
On the ice, we got Morgan Geekie going down the ice.
Fits through the keeper's legs.
Wow.
Boston versus Buffalo in the playoffs. You don't see that too often.
Tosses it up.
Right through
That's
the
crazy.
legs. Keeper's not happy.
Next up, we got some basketball. Will, talk to us about that.
We got some overseas basketball. Batangas versus CEBU. Free throw is off. Half-court shot for the win. Oh, and it looks like it's blocked, but that will be called goaltending.
Wow.
So what happens with the goaltending is they give the basket even if it doesn't go in.
That's an
So since it was a
insane shot.
3-point shot, they get 3 points and they end up winning the game.
That's
off
crazy.
Of a bad mistake from the other team.
That's wild. Well, that's all that we have for you guys today, and as always, go Bulls.
For the final weird and wonderful animals, we check out the frogfish.
Want something aired on the news? Send us an email at pchstvproduction@gmail.com. Make sure to follow us on social media at PCHS Productions. Also like and subscribe to PCHS Productions on YouTube.
Join us again Monday for the next edition of Bullseye News. Have a great Friday, and as always, go Bulls!